welcome to my video today. If you're new, my name is Jennifer. Today we're going to talk about the 7 items that I chose not to buy during the month of February. So I have 6 books and 1 movie. And so let's go ahead and get started in talking about the first 2 books that I'm interested in. And that, so we'll see if I am wanting to purchase them or not, but let's go ahead and talk about those. So first off is the book club book for participating in middle grade March with Kristen Books of Jams and everybody. And so, so the book is called Max and the House of Spies. It is a historical fiction during the time of World War II. And so it is by Adam Gidwitz. And so I'm curious to see if I'm going to like this type of middle grade book, being a historical fiction and all. World War II does sound like an interesting setting for me and what Max, the main character, gets up to. But I'm curious to try it and read it. My library had both the ebook and the audiobook. And so I'm curious to see if I like it. If I love it enough, I will purchase a copy of it to support the author and the middle grade March. But yeah, so I'm curious to see how I like that one, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a chance from the library first. I'm excited that my library had both options as an opportunity to participate in this reading-thon. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that one. So that's one I'll have to wait and see if I like it or not. And then the second one that I'm interested in and recommendation of Krista from Books and Jams is the Unselected Journals of Emma M. Lyon. There's a whole series of them. This would be just volume 1. I'm curious about it. It sounds kind of like a interesting read. And she said the audiobooks are fantastic. And so in order to see if I like this series, and the first book is such a very small novel that maybe even more of a novella, that I didn't want to invest in it and purchase it if I didn't like the series. So luckily my library had the first volume and an audiobook that I can check out. So I go ahead and placed a hold on that audiobook to see if I like that series or not. Hopefully it's a fun, interesting read just as much as Krista loves them and everybody else that she's supported in her community and shared them with her friends and family. And so hopefully we'll see if I like those, but I want to give them a shot from the library first to see if I'm interested in purchasing them or not. And then moving kind of on to the one new release that's coming out in the month of March. There really wasn't a whole lot of new releases that were coming out that I was interested in, which is very surprising to me. So maybe in future months there'll be some more new releases that I'm interested in, but want to take a look at. The first book is called The Library of Amorlin by Caitlin Josephson. It is it is more of a fantasy, probably a romantasy kind of book. It is about a person, Kazira, used to be a masterful con artist, choosing her target, building trust, and building the precise moment to make her move. Now she's working off a lengthy prison sentence by hunting dangerous magical creatures on behalf of the fantastical kingdom of Kalthos. But Kazira's past catches up to her when the ambassador from Kalthos arrives at her camp with a deal: her freedom in exchange for infiltrating and destabilizing the magical institution meant to protect all 6 kingdoms, the Library of Amorlin. When Kazira assumes the role of a new assistant librarian, she enters an enchanted world brimming with books and beasts, tempting her with a life she can never have. But Kazira's real future depends on her long con to bring down the librarian. Unfortunately, Alistair is as strictly as he is handsome, and his monstrous secrets are about to catch up with them both. And so I'm curious to know if this is going to be like the spell shop, like a cozy read, or if it's going to be more fantasy based. I'm just kind of curious about the magical creatures and the kingdom and the library and all that has to give in a fantasy setting. And so I'm very curious about it. I'm curious to see what people say about it. I'm gonna wait and see what people have to say and review. The actual deluxe edition looks gorgeous. I'll have, of course, post up a picture of the possibility of the sprayed edges and the deluxe edition. So it looks gorgeous. I'm just curious to know if anybody is really going to enjoy this, if it's going to be a slow read or like a cozy read or not, or if it's gonna be more fantasy. So This is the one new release I'm interested in from the month of March. So if you have heard of this one or have seen it in reviews, let me know your thoughts on this one. If you've heard of it or interested in reading it yourself, I would love to know. And then moving on to the one movie that I thought about purchasing for the month is Wicked. I still hadn't ever seen it, but I was curious to give it a shot. I always love musicals and watching them and enjoy all of the musical dance performances and singing. And so I was wanting to try this one, and since it's very popular and the second movie, Wicked for Good, just came out, I was curious to give the first one a try. Well, I was trying to find it on a streaming service. Well, I wasn't able to find one, and so when I first looked last week, and so I'd have to purchase or rent a copy of it online, and I didn't really want to do that. But over this past weekend when I checked, it's now available on Amazon Prime. So as long as you have an Amazon Prime account, you can watch Wicked. And I was very surprised by that, but it was kind of cool. So I'm glad I checked again. And so I watched it. It was okay. It was good. I don't quite understand all the hype around it, but that's okay. That's just me. Some of the songs are okay. I have not seen the Wicked on Broadway or the production play. Maybe that would be better. But yeah, I was just curious what everybody thinks about that movie. If you liked it, enjoyed it, let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, so that was the one movie or TV show or anything like media wise that I thought about purchasing and didn't, but I did get to watch it and it was okay. So I liked it. Glad I've seen it now, so I know what people are talking about, but that's about it. And so moving on to some releases that have been out for a while that have been recommended to me, people have recently read or reviewed, and I'm interested in checking out, but not sure if I should purchase. So I'd love your opinion to know if you have read these or if you're interested in them yourself. Let me know if I should check them out. The first one is The Bright Side Running Club by Joy Z. Lloyd. And so this just sounds like a very sweet friendship book and supporting and lifting each other up. And so the synopsis says, when Kira first received a breast cancer diagnosis, she never expected to end up joining a running group of 3 women who she's only just met. Totally blindsided, all she can think about is how she doesn't want to tell her family or step back from work, nor does she want to be part of the group of fellow cancer patients. Cancer is not her club, which I can totally relate. And yet it's running, hot, sweaty, like her glad running in the company of brilliant, funny women, all going through treatment. That unexpectedly gives Kira the hope she so urgently needed, because Kira is not defined by the C word. And now with the Cancer Ladies Running Club cheering her on, she's going to reclaim everything, her family, her identity, and her life. And so I just am learning that I like friendship books. The Book Club Hotel was another one that I read back in December that I really loved the friendship aspects of that and reading about that. And so I'm curious to see if I would like this one or not. Let me know if you've read that one or if you'd recommend that I read it. And so yeah, I'm interested in that one for sure. And then moving on to continuing my trend of institutional books and Wayward Girls. And so I have another one called The Home for Wayward Girls by Marcia Bradley. And I'm curious to see if anybody has heard of this one or read this one. I'm curious to see if it'd be one that I'm interested in reading. It says, growing up in the 1990s, a young girl escapes her abusive parents and the ranch. They ran for bad girls and becomes an advocate for teen runaways in the harrowing and heartfelt novel for fans of Joanna Goodman and Lisa Wingate. While other adolescents are listening to grunge rock or swooning over boy bands or movie stars, Loretta knows little of life beyond the home of Wayward Girls, the secluded ranch where her parents run a program designed to correct teen girls with bad behavior. Some new residents arrive with their moms and dads, while others are accompanied by transporters, people paid to forcibly deliver these problem kids, teens, girls caught swearing, smoking, drinking, or kissing. Many are failed runaways desperate to leave their controlling and sometimes brutal homes. If you have any idea of the suffering that lies ahead. So yeah, it could be a unique perspective about a teenager growing up on the ranch that her family runs, like her family owns it and is very advocate for it. And so living amongst all of these women and girls that they are mistreating. And so it'd be very interesting to see if that is something that I'm interested in. Let me know if you've heard of that one or like that one. But I'm waiting to see if I might want to check that one out as a next read of that type of story. Let me know. And the last book that I'm interested in that I seen as a possibility is called The Lending Library by Elisa Fogelson. This sounds like a very cute story. It is when the Cotswold Library closes indefinitely. Dottie loses her sanctuary. How in a small town are teachers supposed to cope without the ever-ending life advice and enjoyment that books give her? Well, when she's as resourceful and generous as Dottie, she turns her sunroom into her very own little lending library. At first, just a hobby, this lit lover's haven opens up her world in incredible ways. She knows books are powerful, and soon enough, they help her forge friendships between her zany neighbors and attract an exciting new romance. But when the chance to adopt an orphaned child brings Dottie's secret dream of motherhood within reach, everything suddenly seems less important. Finding herself at a crossroads, Dottie must figure out what it means to live a full, happy life. If only there was a book that could tell her what to do. Aww. So yeah, so it just sounds like a very decision-making, life-filled, friendship-making kind of book, and just sounds cute and cozy, kind of a fun read. And so yeah, I think that could be a very interesting read. So yeah, so those are some of the books that I'm interested in. Let me know if you've heard of them or not, or if you have any other recommendations for me, please share them down below. If you're not feeling chatty, let's go ahead and do a book stack emoji or a book in support of all of the library themed and book themes books that I had for this month. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing which books I chose not to purchase this month, but maybe in the future, depending on recommendations. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.